Okay, this is what 12 grams of carbon-12 looks like. So it's got like 6.22 trillion something atoms. So instead of saying it's got that many atoms every time, we define something called a mole. So a mole is of 1 mole of any substance has 6.022 times 23 atoms or molecules of that substance, and this number is called Avogadro's constant. So here's a formula. So what we do is we can take the number of particles divided by Avogadro's constant to figure out the number of moles. So for example, how many oxygen molecules are there in 2.80 moles of oxygen? So all I need to do is, I know that 1 mole has 6.022, so I just multiply 2.8 by that much. That gives me 1.69 times 10 to the 24 molecules of oxygen. Okay, a flake of metal contains 5.80 times 10 to the 24 atoms of the metal element. Determine how many moles this is. So I just need to figure out how many Avogadro's constants are inside this. So if I divide that by Avogadro's constant, it turns out that is 9.63 moles MOL. Okay, when you look at the periodic table for aluminium, you'll find something like this. The number at the top here, 13, that is the number of protons. And the number at the bottom, normally called we use it as a mass number, normally represents the number of protons plus number of neutrons. In this case, actually it takes into account the isotope soul, which is why it's a decimal. And we're going to call this the molar mass. Okay, but the problem is this molar mass actually given in grams, so we'd convert that to kilograms for physics. So 0.02698 kilograms per mole. That's the molar mass. So molar mass is the mass of 1 mole of that substance. So here's a formula for it. Moles equals mass over mR. And so what is the mass of 5 moles of aluminium? So that is N there. We have the mR, and we want to find the mass, which is going to equal N times mR. So we do 5 moles times the mass of each mole, and that gives us 0.13 kilograms. How many atoms of aluminium are present in 100 grams of aluminium? So first I need to turn that into kilograms, so 0.1 kilogram. We already have the mR from the section here, so we've got the mR. So we can just, if we had to figure out the number of moles first. So number of moles equals mass, 0.1, divided by the molar mass. And that gives me 3.7 moles. But I want to find out how many atoms there are inside this. And we know that each mole is 6.022 times 10 to the 23. So altogether we have 2.23 times 10 to the 24 atoms of aluminium in 100 grams of aluminium.